Hi, I'm Mike Cohen. You may remember me from one of the early layout tours. I had my WP Oregon division twice on TSG Multimedia, and I actually met the TSG crew here at the Bay Area Prototype Modelers Meet, or BAPM, about 9 years ago, when they were asking for people who had home layouts if they wanted to do a layout tour. And since then, I have moved to Reno, Nevada, but I still come back here to the Bay Area because this is a great place to meet fellow modelers and fellow terrain enthusiasts and check out some of the nicest modeling I have ever seen. There's some really talented people here. It's a great thing that happens every year here in the Bay Area, and it's just a blast to do. So next year, if you're not coming this year, you should try to check out the Bay Area Prototype Modelers Meet. It's always held in the middle of June here in Richmond, California. So come on, TSG crew, check it out.
Hi, I'm Tony Thompson. I've been coming to BAPM for years and years. It's always fun. People bring all kinds of models, and we have clinics where people give talks. The models are really interesting because many people bring in-progress models so you can see what they're doing. You can really learn a lot. It's fun. And of course, there's the camaraderie of all the people standing around at the tables. It's great.
My name is Scott Kelly Clement. I'm a Bay Area native, and I brought some cars that I've caught in the Bay Area. I try and get every detail right, so everything's hand-painted, all the numbers are redone. I've been fortunate that there used to be a lot of these cars in the Bay Area, and I took a lot of pictures of them, and that's what I brought here. So these 50-foot box cars used to be plentiful in Benicia. Unfortunately, they're not around very much anymore, but I still try and bring them out here so that everybody can see what's possible when it comes to custom modeling and custom weathering and hand-painted graffiti and everything like that. So.
Hi, I'm Dallin Shovey. I work in N-Scale. I'm from Mountain View, California. Today I've brought a couple of passenger trains and some head-end cars that I've been modeling for the last 10 years. So I have a Los Angeles Limited from 1952 and a Grand Canyon from 1948. They have accurate cars. I did research on them to try to model the period as accurately as I could, and the train itself. And then I have the head-end cars here, a couple different ones that I've been working on. Most of these are like kit bashed from some existing cars. One of them is this New York Central head-end car. It's a modified troop sleeper that New York Central purchased after World War II. And they modified these for their own purposes on the railroad. And what I had to do, since nobody creates a door just like this in N-Scale, I had to create my own from kit bash doors. It took me a while to find all the different exact parts, and they came from probably like 4 or 5 different doors that had to be cut up and then reassembled to give me the exact rib and panel pattern that I needed for the actual prototype model. So anyway, just kind of proud of the doors. It took me a while to do them, but it turned out really nice.
Hi, my name is Nick Wright. I'm from the SF Peninsula. I'm here today at BAPM. This is my very first time ever coming here. I've been told for like the past 10 years you need to come to BAPM. This is the place to be if you're a prototype modeler. So I brought a few of my models here today, some different SP commute models. I have the 6462, which was the only F unit ever used on commute service on the peninsula. It was a former cotton belt locomotive that was also the only F unit ever painted in the daylight paint scheme. So when it ended up in commute service, it was in gray and red. They used it kind of off-peak because it was slow. I also have an Amtrak P30CH, which SP leased in the 1970s when they were short of power, along with SP Steam Air Snowfighter here and the Sacramento Northern F3s. That's what I brought to kind of show off today. Kind of a West Coast, Bay Area, for the most part, modeling theme.
Hi, I'm Isaac Sattler. This is my second time at BAPM. I'm from San Francisco, California. Today I brought the 3 most unique engines in my collection. The first is the UP 2010, which is made custom from a Scale Trains model that I had commissioned. The gentleman I commissioned had only done Walther's mainline units in the past, so this is the first Scale Trains engine he did, and he said from now on he's only going to be doing Scale Trains as they look so much better. The other two units are the special indigenous liveried NR class diesels that ran in Australia in the 90s. They are liveried in the two major indigenous tribes from Australia, hence the colorful and very complicated paint scheme on them. They were not supposed to run together, but they did, because the railroad only cares about power and not so much which engines are supposed to be running with which others.
Hi, my name is John, and I'm native San Franciscan, and I'm sharing a table with two of my friends, Nick and Isaac, and I remember them when they were a little bit, they were smaller than me at one time. Now they're much taller. And so I model Southern Pacific passenger trains of the late 60s till 1971 when Amtrak took over. And the model here that I've modeled is the 6432, which was the last Black Widow freight unit for the Southern Pacific, and it went to scrap in the Black Widow colors. And I remember seeing it also and have a lot of photos.
Hello, my name is Davey Deshawn, retired locomotive engineer with Southern Pacific and Amtrak. 20 years with Southern Pacific, 20 with Amtrak. And I got the idea to come up with my own prototype railroad, probably inspired by the Utah Belt. And I wanted to name it after my mother. So I took the time to test out different colors and different paint schemes, and this was the paint scheme that I came up with. The models I have on the table here are the freight units, and the passenger equipment is the executive train of the Juanita Railroad. And fictitiously, this railroad ran from San Francisco down to LA over the Southern Pacific coastline, which in the 80s Southern Pacific was considering selling, and then from LA to El Paso with trackage rights over the Southern Pacific, and from El Paso to Dallas over the old Texas and Pacific line that was up for sale during that time. And then down to Houston over the Caden.
Hi, I'm Peter Van Kampenhout from San Jose, California, and I came to BAPM this year with some of my models, including the Walther's National Model Railroad Build-Off 2023 Youth Entry for my diorama. It's 2 foot by 2 foot. It won first place last year. When I received the Walther's kit, it came with the feed mill, a storage shed, and a cornfield. And I was thinking somewhere in the Midwest, and I was looking on Google Street View mainly, just for inspiration. And I found just a grade crossing in North Dakota, just a random place. And I saw that just kind of was mostly flat, there wasn't much out there, and so gave me a little bit of inspiration to make the diorama mainly flat, but I wanted to give it some elevation, including the creek and the small hill in the background. I did several modifications to a lot of the structures, including the storage shed in the back, which I cut down from 4 stalls to 3 stalls and gave it a small garage and some skylights, because I thought that it wasn't a really good looking building that way, and so add some more detail, give it some more interest. I also added a front store to the feed mill along with a awning and sign. In the back, there's a barn that's actually a Plasticville structure that I cut apart and repainted. I think it looks really great that way. The road was made of roofing tar paper. It was just painted and then a little bit of weathering powders. The yellow road striping is automotive pinstripes for your car. And it worked out pretty nice, I think. I came to BAPM because I really wanted to show off some of the models I was really proud of and learn some things and get good feedback from other people.
Hi, my name is Garf Mitchell. I'm from Richmond, California, and I model HO. I'm primarily a Santa Fe modeler, but as of late, when you've kind of been collecting for a lot of years, I ended up branching out into other railroads and just to have that model railroading experience that some of the other guys enjoy. This collection is just kind of an eclectic group of things that represents kind of far-flung interests. But I hadn't been that busy modeling this year. But when Pico came out with these cross Moffies, they were such beautiful models, and I remember seeing them as a child. I decided that I had to have more hydraulics. And I remember Alco did a version that I do remember seeing when I was a kid as well. So I found a couple of old Alco models, DH643s, and I looked at them and they were always a little strange looking, and it turns out that Alco had reversed the trucks so that they would just fit in with the rest of their line. And so I just sought to flip those trucks. That didn't look quite right. So I looked at all the photographs and found the exact truck that I needed. And they came under a Bachmann E33. They're not the smoothest trucks in the world, but they definitely fit the part. I went in there, chopped up the frames, built pedestals for them, mounted those trucks, and the offset faces out, which is kind of strange with these. And I, just did some work on it to bring it up. I replaced all the grab irons and the handrail stanchions, which were a weak point of these models. So that brought me to the show, and then I said, well, I can't just bring two things. I'll see what else I could, dip into the collection. There's also one other one, a commemorative for me. I went and rode behind the Reading and Northern 2102, which was a life-changing experience. It's amazing. I recommend it for everybody. And I put this engine together. There are no decals for it per se, so I did the lettering and painted it up and found these gargantuan marker lights that they fitted to them. But it comes up with this is a precision scale, actually, that I put sound in. And I'm really happy with it.
I'm Alvin. You guys might remember me from N-Scale Friday, where we had N-Scale signals and other printed accessories. Today we're at BAPM, and we're showing off some trains. I brought a printed Bud bi-level car, and there's both the cab coach and normal coach here. In the raw printed form, there's not that many details at the end, but in the front of the finished car, there's added soldered gates for the vestibule door. There's a air hose that goes up to the door from the bottom. There's a cow catcher plow in the front with the MU hoses that go from the front, and they're stored in little cabinets on the side. There's also ladders in the front and custom stirrups. The car is 3D printed, and it fits directly onto a Kato Pullman bi-level car that they make. So it runs really well because it just snaps right into the underframe. The only difference is that a few of the underbody details need to be changed, like the air tanks and the air pipes that go underneath. There's also an interior that goes with this, and recessed areas behind the glass, so that the glass is more flush when it is fully installed. But you can see from here, there's like see-through fans on the top, which can be graded over. There's, another grates here, which is air ventilation for the HVAC system. See-through lift rings on the end of the car, and raised window gaskets for all of those passengers inside.
Hi, my name is Matthew Tashera from Oakland, California. What I brought with me today is, first up, is a Line B unit. This was originally a BN unit, and then in the kind of late 80s, it got into a wreck, which they then converted into a B unit, and then sold it to Line, and Line repainted it into its current scheme, which you can see here, and numbered it as 6450. So I've been working on that. It's a base Athearn unit, and then I have a 3D printed end hood here. And so I'm still getting a few pieces for that. I'm going to add Canon fans, but then to get a nice coat of paint, and some handrails, and it'll be good as new. Next up over here, I have a Wisconsin Central unit. These are the Mega Log Hauler. They were originally made in a batch of about 75. And what I've done here is I've taken Walter's Psycho pulpwood cars, cut off the end, and kit bashed about 200 parts of styrene and to make all these log bucks. So next up on that is getting the load for it, and then I'm really excited to show that off. And then my third piece over here is a Burlington Northern maintenance away caboose.
I'm sure it probably...
They had about 8 or 9 of them, and they each were a little bit different. So the one that I've modeled is one that was seen in Oregon, and I've added RV air conditioning units to it, and I just need to add a few lights, and I got decals up on it last night, and so I'm proud to present my collection here of units. And last, I have some California Coke lid hoppers, which are a kit bash from using Macrail products. So I appreciate their creativity in those. And that's what I brought to the show today.
Hi, this is Paul Oates from Scale Trains. We're here today at the Bay Area Prototype Modelers Meet in Richmond, California. Having a great time, great weather up here in the Bay Area. And we're here today showing off some of our newest products. A lot of neat stuff to show off this weekend. So I don't know if we want to start here on the end. We got the SD45Xs coming pretty soon, due at the end of August, I believe. The GP40 locomotive, which is another popular locomotive that's due later this year, around November, December timeframe. The SD45s, those will be recently announced. We'll be running those coming. SD40-2s, including the SD40-2B. And we have a run of SD40T-2s, which have been absent for a while. Also been a 4-year hiatus since we ran them last. But they're coming back, and multiple variations to cover anywhere from SP modelers from as-delivered versions in 1980 all the way up to patch jobs for under Union Pacific ownership. So a lot of variety there. No two are exactly alike, and then you just sit there and start comparing. You see a lot of little differences. And then we have examples of product from the Exactro product line that we acquired. Railbox cars, the Evans 4780 covered hoppers, PCNF appliance box cars. We have got examples of our new 86-foot high cube models that are coming, auto parts modelers out there. And yeah, a lot of neat stuff that's coming and in the pipeline. And like I said, a lot of neat stuff coming in the near future. So just keep your eyes on Scale Trains. I think you won't be disappointed, because I hope not.
Hi, I'm Craig Walker. I'm with Repo Trains, which is up in Canada. I'm from Southern California, though. Go figure. So I'm representing the company here in the Bay Area. Brought a bunch of models to display. There's a number of new things we've got in the works. In this area, unsurprisingly, one of the most talked about of our new products is our BART train. We have it set up here so people can see how it's lighted. And also, if the room was a little quieter, they could hear the sounds. And we're the first company to offer both of those on a BART train. We also have our new Pacific Fruit Express door-and-a-half refrigerator car. That's another one that's of interest here in California. We have a 3D sample of our new SP C40-3 cupola caboose. Our C30-7 diesels are here. The FA1s, we already did the FA2 at Union Pacific. I've got a sample here. The Alco PAs that Santa Fe had rebuilt with EMD prime movers, we've got a sample of that here so people can see what it looks like. We've got our Jeep 38 here. Oh, the new Fairbanks Morse H1244 is here. So some of these models are currently available. You can find them at your local dealer. Many of these other models are in various stages of development. Some will be out before the end of the year. Some will be out next year. It's a constant process of revising and tweaking things, and that's how we keep our quality up.
I'm Jim Providenza. You've seen my TSG Multimedia video on YouTube, maybe, somewhere along the line. And I'm from here in the Bay Area over in Marin County. This is a really neat thing to do. I can't tell you, I've missed a couple of years because of other obligations, but I come through here and I spent the first 35, 40 minutes just saying hello to friends. And then to look at some of the amazing stuff, talk to the vendors and say, well, are you going to come out with this? Or can you, and so you give some input, and then you go look at some of the incredible work that's going on, and you see, from my perspective, a whole bunch of really much younger modelers that are just, kind of the future of the hobby on one side of things. And to see how RPM has continued to evolve and become a real basis for the hobby when 25 years ago it wasn't. So it's really a wonderful event. It's great to go to an RPM. If you find an RPM meet in your area and you've never been to one or it's been a while, go to it.
Hi, I'm Dave Stanley. I'm here enjoying BAPM. Try to come every year. I live in Murata near Stockton, California, and operate the Murata Belt Railway. And BAPM's really a good time to get to see a lot of old friends and see some wonderful model building. And my wife Shirley's dishing out hot dogs with Rose Ferguson, so another little sidebar plus free coffee works for me. But yeah, it's worth the trip over here. This is just a great annual event, and again, I like running into the old friends here, and we all share the love of model railroading.
Group 2 for these 91 cars. This was a unique.
I'm John Cockle from Berkeley, California. And I guess we're all from California, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. So anyways, I'm here at BAPM. This is cool. I like BAPM. It's always inspirational. Always see some stuff that kind of inspires me to get off my duff and start getting back into some good modeling and things like that. So a lot of good stuff here today. I even picked up a few projects. Like, we all need more projects, right? So I got a few more projects to put on the shelf and think about maybe. So we'll be doing some of that. So, yeah, good stuff.
I'm Sophia Specht.
I am Rose Ferguson.
I'm Christine.
I'm Shirley Stanley.
And we're all here because we love BAPM.
We love our railroad husbands.
There you go.
And we love each other.
And we enjoy each other's company.